Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's news and rumors are presented by our brand new sponsor, Hexclad. Let's have a real-life conversation. It's time to grow up and start cooking like adults here. Use promo code CHAT at hexclad.com/chat. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, we're going to give it the latest OTA schedule. We got some news on Nate Hobbs, the latest on Tyler Hall, and then even more Raiders secondary rumors. We're going to be getting into all of that. If you're wondering what is the updated Raiders OTA schedule, don't worry, I got you covered. Off-season workouts May 31st to June 2nd, and then June 12th to June 15th. That is right now the Raiders OTA schedule. Even though it is the off-season, we do videos here at Chat Sports every single day. And I hate losing. And I especially hate losing to the Chiefs Report. And I hate even losing to the Broncos Breakdown channel even more. This is how many subs we've gotten. Don't get me wrong. Raiders Report is king here at Chat Sports. But I'm not losing in the month of May to the Chiefs and the Broncos. So if you bleed silver and black, if you already subscribe to this show, send the link, youtube.com/Raiders Report, to a friend and tell them we need your help. If you watch the show all the time, make it a count. Subscribe right now. So let's get into the latest here around Nate Hobbs. And is he going to be starting as an outside corner? There's a lot of people, myself included, that wondered, could the silver and black potentially put him back in the slot where he succeeded as a rookie? Well, according to the latest reports from Raiders Scout on Instagram, this one is 3 just win babies. Believe it, baby, to me. When you look at the report from Scout that he posted, and essentially it is Hobbs is expected to start as an outside corner. Entering year 3, this is a good thing for Nate, for the simple fact of he's going to make more money if he is a stud outside corner. The reason why it's intriguing is because, like I mentioned earlier, he was so good as a rookie. He was one of the best slot corners in the NFL when he was first coming out of Illinois. Then he played outside last season, and when you really look at the tail of the tape, it doesn't really tell the whole story. He was injured. But when you look at some of the numbers before he was injured, he was a lot better than what he gets credit for. 72 tackles, 0 interceptions, 4 PBUs. Now, I got a lot of comparisons from his rookie season, which is in 2021, and then his 2022 season last year. So, games played, 16. He started in 9 as a rookie. Last year, as a sophomore year, started in the 11 games that he played. Tackles similar, pass breakup similar, INTs, forced fumbles, it's all good. Now, the next 2 graphics are the ones that I really want you to pay attention to. His coverage stats. Sure, the completion percentage is higher as a rookie, but it's okay if guys are catching the football, but they're not going anywhere. Only 399 yards and a quarterback rating against him as a rookie at 92.1. In the slot, very impressive. However, in 2022, 120.2 quarterback rating against. The yards is much higher. You want Nate Hobbs to go back to being that dude that you can rely on and being a shutdown man. Then the PFF grades, 837 snaps compared to 667. The overall grade, you guys have all gone to school at least. I hope so. The overall grade is 79.1 as a rookie compared to 60.9. However, but when you look at the injuries, that was a big-time reason why Nate Hobbs struggled last season. And on top of that, he had to learn a brand-new system with Patrick Graham. So here's your opportunity to go down in the comments on YouTube, interact with me on Facebook, wherever you see this video. I want you to tell me, do you want Nate Hobbs to play as the outside corner for this Raiders defense? Type yes, or I want you to type no. My answer is I believe that Nate Hobbs can play literally anywhere in that entire secondary. If you wanted to put him at slot, he can do it. You want to put him at outside, he can do it. You want to put him at free safety, strong safety, there's not many players as athletically gifted as Nate Hobbs. So, for that reason, if they want to put him at outside, if it makes our defense better, I'm pushing all of my chips in the center of the table, and I'm going to say, let's get after it. The other reason why that I want people to just give him another chance is anytime a player's got to learn a brand new defense, it could be a struggle. It's year 2 in Patrick Graham's system. But before he got injured. He actually did a pretty good job. Now, these numbers are also courtesy of Raiders Scout on IG. And in the 5 games that he started prior to the injury as an outside corner, he had a QBR against them at 74.2, 3 PBUs, and 0 touchdowns allowed. Let's give Nate Hobbs a shot. One more chance to play outside. I'm all in. This dude is an absolute dog. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, the latest on Tyler Hall and more Raiders secondary news. But before we get into that, it's time to have a talk. And I'm talking about the talk. Let's talk about our brand new sponsor, Hexclad, and they're going to be hooking up your kitchen. Use promo code CHAT at hexclad.com/chat. So today's show is sponsored by Hexclad, and I'm really excited to tell all of y'all about our brand new sponsor. Hexclad has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of non-stick, the versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and a lifetime warranty, just in case you find a way to destroy them. Use promo code CHAT at hexclad.com/chat for 10% off. Hexclad truly checks every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They are metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. But, hey, don't take my word for it. Maybe you've heard of this guy, Gordon Ramsay. I can't wait to try his restaurant out in Las Vegas and why he uses Hexclad. The sear I can get with these pans is incredible. With absolutely no stick, the temperature control is utter perfection, and the cleanup is effortless. I love using Hexclad at home. Now, he didn't give us the quote, but I'm just going to speak for Gordon Ramsay here and say, if you don't get your hand on a Hexclad pan, you are an idiot sandwich. They're also the sexiest pans on the market. Score points at home. It's time to stop ordering delivery food and start cooking like a big boy with Hexclad. Real cuisine isn't made in the microwave. It's cooked in a Hexclad. For a limited time, get 10% off with our special link, hexclad.com/chat. That's 10% off at hexclad.com/chat with code CHAT. Now, I can't say a pan is sexy without actually showing you this thing, and after you see it, you probably want me to do the rest of the show like this. But seriously, take advantage of this awesome deal. I'm a big-time cooker, which I think you guys know. Hexclad.com, promo code CHAT for 10% off. So you know what, Chugs? Let's keep this show rolling here with the next rumor on today's show, presented by Hexclad. Tyler Hall, starting at slot corner. I was going to say drum roll, please, but Hexclad roll, please. 3 just win babies, and this one is also pretty likely. I have been telling y'all for weeks, maybe even months at this point on this show, that I've been hearing from a really good source that Tyler Hall is a potential front runner to play at the slot. So now when you add that with what my source has been telling me, on top of the latest report from Raiders Scout saying that, Nate Hobbs is probably going to play on the outside, that just kind of goes point A, add them together. All right, Tyler Hall does have that front runner shot to play in the slot. Now, don't get me wrong. Hobbs is still going to be working a little bit. He's been working already still in the slot because what does this Raiders team want? They want versatility. They want to be able to use their players in different ways. But the Raiders were very impressed with Hall last season. You know what's the easiest way to know how much a team likes a dude? It's the money. And they didn't give him a lot of money, but it was how quickly they ended up saying, this is a player that we're going to re-sign, and this is a player that we want back in the silver and black. And I don't blame them, because Tyler Hall is going to be making a name for himself. He's entering year 3 of his NFL career, and in 7 games played, ended up starting 3 last season. And, let's face it, the Raiders secondary got put in a pretty interesting situation. You had to rely on some of these younger players, and he showed up. He got paid. 56.3% completion percentage against them last year. Only 90 yards, a 72.4 rating, 0 interceptions. Now, the biggest reason why it's not 4 just win babies is because you always have to keep an open mind of what if Jakorian Bennett, who the Raiders traded up for, in fact, in round 4 of the 2023 NFL Draft, what if he starts to perform? I'm a big fan of Jakorian Bennett, and he also is going to be getting some work in the slot. On top of that, another player that he doesn't have near the athletic ability that Bennett has, and he doesn't really, I even think, have the athletic ability that Tyler Hall has. But Sam Webb is a dog, and Sam Webb is a player that this coaching staff does like. If I had to rank the probability of all three of these players, I would say Sam Webb is the least likely to get the most playing time in the slot. But then the other thing that could be working to his advantage is what happens if the defense is better with Nate Hobbs in the slot. Then Sam Webb and Jakorian Bennett, you're going to be splitting up all sorts of different kinds of reps here, which I do think is actually a good thing for this Patrick Graham defense. So we just talked about Tyler Hall. We just talked about Jakorian Bennett, and we talked about Sam Webb. Out of those three players, who do you think is the best slot corner in Patrick Graham's defense? If it's Hall, give me a TH. Bennett, JB. Sam Webb, SW. As it stands right now, I'm going to tip my cap and say that the advantage goes to Tyler Hall, but the upside is definitely more with Jakorian Bennett. And the safer pick might be with Sam Webb. But the reason why it's Tyler Hall is because he played well last season. He's got that extra year in the Patrick Graham system, and this coaching staff does like him. So, Tyler, I tip my cap to you. Before I go to the rest of the secondary rumors here on the Raiders Report, we have the updated flyer of me taking on Jermaine Illuminor, and it's a friendly reminder, June 10th, noon to 3 p.m., meet Jeremy Chuggs and I out in Las Vegas at Barcode Burgers. I'm going to be taking down the Raiders starting right tackle, other Raiders players, other NFL players out there. It's all for charity, and I know it's going to be a hell of a time. And then after, we're going to watch the Vegas Golden Knights game. So come to Barcode Burgers. I promise you, it's going to be a good time. All right, let's go to the final story here on the Raiders Report, presented by Hexclad. Duke Shelley, is he going to be starting as the outside corner? So we talked about Hobbs, talked about Tyler Hall. Guess what? Three, another one. Let's throw in another three. I should have wore the Roxy jersey. Shout out to Buddy Bear. Also, though, shout out to Ty Bones Davis, an absolute legend here on the Raiders Report. Let's keep it rocking here with Duke Shelley. I was told by a source that Shelley is the cornerback 2 right now, and I was also told that he was going to be the cornerback 2 the moment that they signed him because they wanted press man, and last season Duke Shelley was one of the best corners in the NFL with press man. The staff loves the fit. That's why they went out and got him. Is he undersized? Yeah, sure. No doubt about it. But with OTAs, there's always going to be a lot of talk. And just because I'm saying that he's going to be the starting corner, if the season were to start today, he would be. But guys, we're in May, right? Like, you still got June, July, August. Y'all know how it works. So the way that I would look at it, it's a three-man race. A three-man race. If Tyler Hall is going to be the starting slot guy, nobody's going to beat out Nate Hobbs. They're going to give Nate Hobbs that opportunity to be the corner 1. So who's going to be the cornerback 2? It's between Duke Shelley, Brandon Faison, and then David Long Jr., who they also signed this offseason. So if I asked you who's the best slot, I'd be a pretty shitty host, I believe, if I didn't ask you who's going to be the best cornerback 2 for this Patrick Graham defense. If you think it's going to be Shelley, DS. Brandon Faison, BF. David Long Jr., type DL. If you've watched this show this offseason, you'll know my answer here. It's going to be Duke Shelley. Big-time fan of him. Love what he brings. And if you want a tough mother effer that, man, you could say, hey, this guy's undersized. Somebody needs to tell him because he doesn't know it. He's that dude. My money is going to be on him, but I do know that the staff does like Faison a lot. They gave him $3.2 million in guaranteed, so it's definitely something to think about. Then, the next thing, David Long Jr., when the Raiders signed him, a lot of excitement there because it was a corner, another press man, and in a lot of the depth charts that I've shown you, I've had David Long as a potential starter. Well, I'm hearing this from a source that he's not a lock to make this team. And if he's not a lock to make the team, I go back and thinking about Darius Phillips when the Raiders signed him last season and how, well, he was the first player they signed, and he didn't end up making the roster. As it stands right now, I believe this is the most up-to-date Raiders cornerback depth chart that is out there. So if you want, take a screenshot. Please share your thoughts on it. I'm always down to hear what the nation has to say. So after looking at this Raiders cornerback depth chart, and after hearing all the latest news, rumors around this team, I want you to grade the Raiders' current cornerback room, A, B, C, D, or F. And if you want to know what my personal opinion is, I'm actually going to put it down below in the comments. So I'm going to see if you guys are looking down there. So please go check it out. My grade on the Raiders' current cornerback room, because if you're going to give your grade, I might as well give mine too.